Hello, everybody. Welcome to the People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers. I'm back in action for our Wellness Wednesday midweek reset with our Self Care Doula, Anna.
Thank you.
I have made this day an entire wellness affair because I started in the amazing massage chair and sauna situation that Stanley and Kathleen have set up for our members over in Hingham, and I cannot stress this enough. The sauna has made me, it's basically changed my life. You guys, like I have been feeling, between the ability for it to detox us and just melt away fat, like I've been doing a lot of practices like breath work and yoga, but now I'm pairing breath work in the actual sauna. And believe it or not, you actually expel fat through your lungs when you breathe. So you can sit in the sauna and just imagine yourself exercising, like in your third eye. You can just be like, I'm at the gym right now. And you breathe and you lose fat sitting in the sauna. I'm living proof. I'm ripped right now, and I'm not doing anything else different except for the sauna. I do yoga 3 or 4 times a week. I walk. I try to get some fresh air and stuff like that. But really, I mean, my life is kind of a workout. I move things around a lot. But the sauna has really, and the chair. So the chair has this setting called air focus, and it squeezes your body, and it really gets your lymphatic system moving. So then I go into the sauna, and then I've had, allergies traditionally, but this year I haven't had to take any medication, because I'm naturally just kind of getting it out. So it's a little TMI. But anyway, thank you, Stan and Kathleen, for the offering of the sauna. And if anybody would like a private tour, it's my favorite part of the week, is showing it off. You really need to do that. Yeah. Start bringing people in.
Let's schedule it.
Let's go. I know, we're overdue. So a couple things happening at PCS&M at 63 Washington Street. So we do stream 2 of our programs online for you, which is Breathwork with Matt, Rise Up Breathwork on Tuesdays is at 11, and then our midweek reset with Anna. However, we also have live events that are not, streamed, and so if you're able to come down in the evenings, Matt offers a sound healing and breathwork session every Wednesday. Arrive between 7 and 7:30, have some casual networking and socializing, and then from 7:30 to 8:30, it's a donation-based healing session, and you get kind of Matt all to yourself, because I'm never here, because I'm upstairs doing yoga teacher training. And then on Friday night, we have Anna holding space with her beautiful yoga nidra offering, which is always like, I always wish I had the bliss bus to like get me out of here and drive me home after, because I'm so relaxed. But it is one of my favorite offerings that we do here at the church. And it's also a really great class for beginners, I feel. Because the beginning of the flow, you don't even really get up from the mat usually, right?
Yeah, you don't need any experience. You could just come and, it's not, you can say it's a flow, but all we're doing is really just moving the body. So come as you are, come in comfortable clothing. You don't have to have any experience. We're just stretching to get our body kind of getting the wiggles out a little bit.
I like to say shaking off the week.
Yes.
And we have plenty of yoga mats and blankets. If you have your own, of course, bring whatever you would want to make yourself the most comfortable. But if you do not own a yoga mat, we got you. And then on Saturday, we have Jack Mester Flash, who is a DJ that's going to be taking to the altar for the first time. I just stalked him on Facebook, and I found out he's from my home state of Maine. So I'm super excited to meet this guy. And we just get together. It's a kid-friendly event. It's open to the public because, again, we are a church. We are a 501c3 benevolent charity. So all the money that we raise during our events, we put back into these programs that you are experiencing right now, as well as filling the soda machine and buying the toilet paper and keeping the lights on. So thank you for all the members who have gone to pcsam.org and have signed up for our monthly membership, which is only $25 a month. So even if you don't live in the area, this is hopefully, as we get more members, we'll start to stream a meditation class or more paint classes or whatever the community wants to see. We can try to produce some content for you, because that's actually one of my passions. As a graduate of Emerson College, I would also like to take a moment to honor all of the students around the country who are using our First Amendment rights to express freedom of speech and, say their piece. And in this country, I hope that that is not lost and that we can continue to peacefully protest, because I'm really devastated by some of the scenes that I've seen. And I just want to set my intention today to send my love and energy out to those who have been injured, and also, to those who have been, murdered. Because, again, this genocide's real, it's happening, it's hard to talk about, especially when you have children, right? Because I'd like to think that, we're raising the vibration here and everything is roses and puppies, but at the end of the day, a lot of people in this world are struggling. And so today I'm going to hold space for them and just send out some healing love because I have been kind of mentally affected by the state of the world. But this is why we do these practices to ground in and realize we can only control what we can control. So what I can control, thankfully, because of you, is my nervous system, which has been much better off since the start of the pandemic and some of the things I was experiencing with anxiety and everything. So again, I bow to you, Anna. Thank you so much for teaching me. Anna is also available for private one-on-one yoga therapy sessions. We have a couple of beautiful spaces. You could even take people to the sauna and do some. There's just enough room for a yoga mat in there. So this is offering that Anna can, whether it's an emotional trauma, PTSD, or it's a physical ailment, right? Like you hurt your knee. So we have lots of different types of traumas that we are all continuously trying to heal. And this is why we say that we're all recovering from something in this community. We don't pigeonhole ourselves into one modality, one sacrament, or one way of being, because every single day our environment changes, our condition changes, and so you have to go with the flow. And we have all of these different tools available to use as needed and as not prescribed, because we are not doctors and we do not have a license to treat or cure anything. However, we do know how we feel when we practice these things, and I feel better.
Yes, and just to keep it clear, I do not diagnose. I just work with you and complement your therapeutics that you're already receiving. So we work together. It's a collaboration, and you and I need to experience it together.
Yes, maybe you can help me with my toe. I have a toe situation, but I'm not going to get into that. But anyway.
Yeah. So the nervous system, I love it. We all have it. We all use it. And we need to learn how to empower ourselves to regulate it. So that's why we're here. And I'm so glad that you regulate.
Hate doggy morning. I have that in my head every time I hear that song. Regulators. Okay, sorry.
And also, these practices aren't take a pill and you feel good. It's not something like these practices take effort and take work. And yes, you may feel good and great after a yoga class, and you should. And that's why people keep coming back. But then, as you notice, people keep coming back and keep coming back for a reason, because you haven't been empowered to learn more deeply about your system, what you can do, mats, breath work, and all of the different options that we have are available here. And just know that it's not always a quick fix. You can feel good right away, but it's a consistency in the practices that make you feel much, much better.
Yeah, and this is why I show up. It's called accountability. And, that is everything, because, I'm not going to lie. When I was trying to do, yoga from home, say, during the pandemic, it's, so easy. The phone rings, you get up and answer the phone. Or the cat is so cute and comes into the situation, now you're giving the cat all the love instead of loving on yourself. So whatever, it's so easy, especially if you're me, to get distracted. So again, accountability, community is everything, because you have to show up for your people and you show up for yourself at the same time, right? But this is why I think it's so important that, we share this message of, trying new things and checking us out. And again, we're the judge-free zone. Come as you are. If you've never taken a yoga class, never taken a breathwork class, we can pick you to it. So what are we doing today? What are we working on? I love your socks, by the way.
Oh,
those leg warmers?
Yeah. I don't like my
ankles
being cold.
Oh wait, and I noticed you have the Reverend Jason has designed this T-shirt. I think there's still some available for donation. My husband is like the sticker king in the T-shirt.
Oh, awesome, yeah.
He loves to just surprise us with stickers and T-shirts. So.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, we do have another announcement to make. I declared plastic officially against our religion on 4/20/2024. The high priestess had an experience where somebody opened a tray of vegetables and there was some broccoli, and the broccoli had been touching the plastic, and the entire church smelled so bad that I could not concentrate on my ability to raise the vibration. So we are asking very intentionally for folks to just bring in something like this. We have water available. Or bring in a glass reusable container. But we're going to do everything that we can to stop using single-source plastic at the People's Congregation. I'm putting it into my bylaws. I'm committing to even working on getting biodegradable packaging and mailing for my other business, as I'm really seeing, again, these global issues and how they're affecting those who are marginalized and poor. And I don't want to be part of it anymore. Yeah. So please refrain from bringing plastic water bottles to the church. It's also less trash for me to deal with. So I humbly ask that you also kind of take a look at your own plastic consumption on a day-to-day basis and do simple things like replacing your water bottle with a reusable bottle. Go to the spring, fill up a bigger thing, something like that.
So I recently learned about this company who recycles one-time use chopsticks. And I wish I could remember the name of the company, but it's really, really cool.
Like the bamboo ones?
Yeah, like just the wood ones.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
whatever they are, one use. And there's different recycling centers or restaurants that recycle the chopsticks. They figured out a way to disinfect them, and they take them to a facility to bring them all together, compress them, make wooden tiles, and create furniture and stuff out of chopsticks. Isn't that cool? Way to give back. So that
because as everybody knows, I love to eat with chopsticks.
Yes, I do too. So that is a one-time use thing that people throw away, and it goes in the landfill. And this company is reducing the landfill, the chopsticks that go in there.
I love that. I love that. And I think like the more that we can talk about these issues around our children, like they're the future, right? They're gonna be figuring out how to do everything with hemp that we now do with plastic. That's my dream. That's my hope that we're gonna make America great again with hemp. Hopefully more people grow hemp, not for just cannabinoids, but for building material, fiber, food, and fabric, because it can be used for all those things.
Yes. So talk about, entrepreneurship, which you're very familiar with. My son is doing like a capstone project on entrepreneurship, and we're coming up with ideas. We're coming up with ideas of, a service or a product. And so I brought up some ideas, and I began to teach him a little bit about aromatherapy, because aromatherapy, like different aromas shift our moods and can make a big difference. And I asked him, when it comes to entrepreneurship, we have to try and find a solution for a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or give back in some way of something that the community is missing. Mm-hmm. So I said, what do you think the world needs? You've been experiencing.
And how old is your son, just for people who don't know?
He's 8.
Okay.
He's in second grade. And he's been struggling with receiving a lot of meanness lately. Mm-hmm. So kids can be very mean to each other. I'm noticing I remember by the second grade, we are very opinionated, can say very mean things. And so when I said, what do you think the world needs? And I reminded him, do you think people should be nicer? We can use a little bit more nice, And he said, yeah, I think the world can use more kindness, right? And it struck me to say, well, I think the world also needs more loving kindness. More loving kindness. And how can we bring that to the world? So we connected aromatherapy with loving kindness, and we're going to create a little product to share with his class to spread loving kindness into the world with aromatherapy.
I love that.
Yeah. So being open, I've gotten different opinions of people just rolling over my loving kindness or our loving kindness idea, or being told he's going to be teased about giving loving kindness in the world because he's a boy and talking about loving kindness. So that's something else I wanted to bring up too. Is whatever, take those stigmas off.
My daughter started a company called Why I Love You. Our kids are on the love train.
Yes,
See, it's rippling down. We're doing our good job. We're killing the game.
Yeah, so reuse, recycle, aromatherapy, yoga, give back to the earth, give back to yourself, regulate your nervous system. So I also wanted to bring up that our nervous system. So we're in the parasympathetic state when we're calm. We're in the sympathetic state when we're stressed. High stress creates cortisol and unwanted sensations in the body, creates fat, makes us eat, makes us stressy, and creates a lot of hormonal imbalance. So I just want to clarify that being in a sympathetic state and shifting from one state to another is absolutely necessary. It's not good to stay, everything in moderation, right? It's not good to stay in one state for too long or in the other for too long. And plus, that's just part of our autonomic nervous system where we shift, we see danger, we react, and we need that to survive, right? So the issue comes in, or the problem comes in, when we are in a sympathetic state or a high stress and stay there. And we stay there, and we stay there. So that state creates stress in the body and welcomes in illness, right? So we begin to experience uncomfortable things in the body. So breath work, yoga, exercise, cardio, all of those different things, eating better, learning how to reduce the stress in your life, giving yourself time, like spending this time here with me, and learning how to empower yourself to regulate your nervous systems. So this is one practice that brings in breath work, brings in a state of relaxation into the body. Practicing these things really empower us to shift into a more calm state when stress arises. And that's really where the tools, you can use the tools. So, awareness. Today, I have talked about yoga being awareness. Yoga is awareness. And if it wasn't for us coming to yoga and moving our bodies, how would we know how we feel? How would we know how we can be in a particular state in the practice of yoga? So, usually, I was asking my students today how many people experience chronic pain. A lot of hands went up. Are you familiar with emotional pain? A lot of hands went up. So people come to yoga when they begin to experience pain or they're recovering. Many people do. And what becomes apparent is that the body becomes the gateway to enter a different state of awareness. Through your body and getting in touch with your body, getting in touch with your emotions and what you're feeling, you begin to explore different sensations in the body, the way you feel, or how things feel in the body. Now, there's a difference sometimes that can be very triggering for some people, and you can work around that. But I think the importance is using the body as a gateway into a deeper awareness. So when you begin to go into awareness and certain things begin to come up, it's an exploration of your body, an exploration of sensations, an exploration of your emotions, and an exploration of how your whole body feels and going through all those layers. So let's begin, and we'll begin on our backs. So find your way down to a comfortable position on your back. If it feels good for you to take a full body stretch, go ahead and take a full body stretch. If it feels good after your full body stretch to bring your knees in, bring your knees in. And you can gently rock. Again, a nice extension of arms over the head and the legs long. And then begin to bring your arms by your side. Just for a moment, we'll hang out here as you connect to your breath. I invite you to place your hand on your belly or your heart or both. As you begin to notice the breath coming in and how it leaves the body. If it feels good to take a deep sigh, no one's watching, go ahead, make the sounds through the mouth because it feels good. Yoga like no one's watching. As I guide you into your body, creating the relationship with your body, begin to explore how you're feeling at this moment. Bringing the awareness to the tips of your toes, and you can wiggle them if that feels good, just to say hello and that they're there. And then beginning to let that travel, the sensations travel, let that awareness travel slowly up the body. through the feet, through the ankles, legs, thighs and hips. Coming back to your breath and noticing. Maybe something is feeling tight, or maybe something's pinching, or maybe you feel completely at ease. And we're just meeting ourselves where we are at this moment. Traveling the awareness of the body. Noticing how the breath is coming in and lifting our palms as the belly rises, as the chest rises, and noticing how the palms fall as they follow your body on the exhale. Again, nice deep inhale to feel that breath come in with the movement in your palms. And noticing how the breath leaves the body. If you're comfortable leaving your hands there, you can, or you can bring them by your side, just to let the awareness travel into the shoulders, into the arms, into the fingertips. Creating space to listen to your body speak to you. Let that awareness travel back through the arms to the shoulders. And maybe a little movement, if that feels good, to just gently move the shoulders, just to notice that they're there. And then bring the awareness to the throat. And what you may be sensing there. Back of the neck, front of the neck, traveling up the cheeks, the brows to the crown. Inviting you to step into your intention, remembering that it is intentions that drive your actions. And your intentions for being here. On the next breath, gently bringing your arms over the head for another full body stretch. Point the toes, flex the toes, rotate the ankles, and rotate the wrists. Stretch the fingers, wiggle the fingers and wiggle the toes. And then reach for that right knee to chest. A slight tuck of the chin, gently bringing that knee towards your body. And as I always remind my students, it's not how deep you go. It's what you feel and what feels good to you. So if your knee is here, or just a movement here, that's all good. If you want to squeeze it in tight, that's all good too. Flex both feet. Full body stretch. Nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, reach for that left knee. Flex, point, wiggle the toes, or just give some movement to your ankle and your feet. And take another full body stretch. Arms by your side. Bend the knees. Take the feet wide to the width of the mat, and then gently move the knees back and forth. Just to bring a little movement there, and then bring the feet back into the center of your mat. And your feet about hip distance apart. If it feels good to walk your feet back, or if there's no pain in your knees, you're welcome to walk the feet back, taking those heels a little bit closer to the buttocks. And we're going to do some pelvic tilts to get into the low back. I've been hearing a lot. I think there's been a few sessions where I've been talking about low back pain. So if you're sensing any of that, these pelvic tilts are really good. A nice deep breath in as you take and tilt the pelvis forward to create that nice straight back in your low back. And then on the exhale, gently tilting the hips back, creating the arch in the spine. Nice deep breath in as you tilt the hips forward. Exhale, gently taking the hips back. Inhaling, tilting forward. Exhale, tilt it back. And before I forget, because I know I will, please continue while I tell you this. So continue to rotate forward using your breath and rotate back on the exhale. As I tell you to please comment when you see the video or take a glance at it, comment, write the things that you want to see. Like, what do you want to see in this practice? What do you want me to bring in? Because I bring in my own ideas, but I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys want to experience in a yoga practice? Let's have a conversation.
Good idea.
Yeah.
How about
Because really, how am I going to know? I don't see you guys all the time, so that's a good way to give me some feedback and cater to the member needs or those who are watching. All right, so from here, we're still in this bridge position. Hands are nice and fingers spread out, gripping the mat or the floor. This time we're going to lift the hips up on the in-breath and gently bring those hips up. Remember again, it's not how high, it's how comfortable it feels. Gently lower down on the exhale. Inhale, lift the hips up. Feel like you're pressing the knees forward or the shins forward, and then gently lower the hips down. So just be mindful when you're doing this movement, and let's say you're watching the video and the video is to your left, don't rotate or turn your head to the left or right while you're in bridge pose, especially when your hips are high. You don't want to rotate your head. You can hurt your neck, so you just want to stay in neutral position, follow my voice as we lift the hips up on the in-breath and exhale lower. So let's do 3 more of these, feeling the hips rise, pressing the knees forward or the shins forward, and then gently lowering. 2 more. And last one. And hold. Take a breath or 2, and then gently lower. Bring the knees to chest. Hands on top of the knees. Let's knee circle. And then gently rotate in the opposite direction. And then come back to center. Place the hands on the front of the knees, and you're going to gently guide those knees outward. Just gently opening the hips. Flex the feet. Relax the shoulders. Notice how as you relax the shoulders with the weight of your hands, the hips gently open up a little bit more. And then from here, on the next breath, bring the knees close together, take the feet up to the sky. Flex the feet, point, wiggle the toes, bring in some movement into your ankles. And then cycle the legs. And then cycle. I know you can hear my Yes. I have, I think it's called prepulis in the knees that makes sounds. It's not painful, but it is loud. All right, so cycle and then take the legs up to the sky. Flex the feet, point, rotate again, and then float those feet back down to the mat. Take the arms into a T. And if you want to take the feet wide or keep them where they are, that's fine. Windshield wiper back and forth. Okay, so come back to center. If you haven't taken your feet wide, take them to the width of the mat. And we're going to do windshield wipers, but we're going to take it really slow to get into the mobility of the hips. On the in-breath, we're going to take that take the knees to the right side, allow that right hip or knee to come all the way down. Inhale, come back to center, take it all the way over to the left. Let that left knee come all the way down as far as it'll go. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, knees go over to the left side. And then come back to center, take it over to the right side. And then guide yourself back to center and then release windshield wiper loosely. All right. From here, hands on the knees again, bringing those knees towards the chest. And we're going to take a gentle rock. So if it doesn't feel comfortable to rock up and down, just find us back in seated as we rock. Ooh, I'm sticky. Rocking up and down until you come to seated, and then find your tabletop position. All right. Tabletop position, stack your shoulders over your wrists. I'm just going to grab my hair, keep it out of the way. And then stack your hips over the knees. And then take a peek between your knees and see if your feet are turning inward. Let the feet disappear behind the knees. On the inhale, let's cat-cow here. Let's take the abdomen down towards the earth, tilt the tail, and take the gaze up or straight ahead, all how it feels to you. Exhale, you're going to take the chin towards the chest and gently round in, tucking the tail, or you can come into neutral. Inhale, extending into cow pose. Exhale, gently rounding in, coming into cat pose. Nice deep breath. Syncing the movement with your breath. And if it feels good to press the mat away as you extend, you can notice how that feels, or as you round in, pressing the mat away. So I'm slowing you down, and if this is uncomfortable, you gotta explore why. Why is it uncomfortable to slow down? Why does the body feel uncomfortable to slow down? And it's probably because we are fast-paced, forward-moving constantly. And then let's bring ourselves back to neutral table and then begin to take the hips into a circle. And then take the hips in the opposite direction. Come back to neutral and then take the hips back, extend the arms forward, and take a child's pose just for a moment. And then walk the hands back to your tabletop to realign yourself. From here, take the hands forward, just in front of you, about shoulder distance, right? So we're just extending the arms forward and we're going to lean forward, drop the hips down. And if it feels good, you can take the gaze forward and take the gaze up. So your choice. And then gently bring those hips back. Inhale, shift forward. Take the hips down towards the mat. Take the gaze forward or up. And then gently, slowly come back towards your heels. Nice deep breath in. Extending forward. Draw those shoulders back. And then take the hips back. Let's do one more like that. Extend forward, gaze forward, take those shoulders back, and then come back. That feels so good, Anna. Right?
Oh my God.
All right, so I'm going to bring something else in. So you might want to just scoot those hands a little bit in more so there's less distance between your hands and your body, but still extended forward. And you're going to extend forward into a neutral position here. Okay, adjust your legs, and then you're going to bend your knees and then bring them back down and extend back. So when you bend your knees, you're not going to be on your patellas you're not going to be on the bone. As you bend your knees, you're going to be on the tops of the knees. Extend your arms, lower the legs, and then come back. Okay, let's do 3 more like that. Extend, gaze forward, lift the legs, lower, and extend back. 2 more. Press back. 1 more. Extend forward, bend the knees, and then walk your hands back, come into your child's pose.
I'm going to do that on the paddleboard this summer.
That sounds awesome. All right, from here, let's find our neutral tabletop. Curl the toes under, lift the knees, a little hover, pull the navel in. On the next breath, press to your down dog. I'm just going to walk a little bit forward so I'm a little bit more center. Walk your dog, lifting one heel after the other. So gaze is between the ankles, arms parallel to the head, gently press the heart towards the thighs. Lift the heels, shift forward, bend the knees. Lower the knees down, and we're going to take a half push-up. So you can keep the toes curled or uncurl the toes, gently come halfway and press. Curl the toes under, come to plank pose or supported plank. If you're in plank, drop the knees, come to a half push-up, gently press back and press to a child's pose. So a little arm strengthening, upper body strength. Shift it forward, curl the toes under, come down halfway, gently press up, and take that child's pose. And then again, shift forward. This time, lift the knees, come to plank, and press into your down dog. All right, so we're going to walk our feet to meet our hands to come to our first forward fold. Let the body feel nice and heavy, the upper body feel heavy. Nice deep breaths, soft bend in the knees. Let the shoulders relax, let the arms relax. Pull the navel in and notice how that changes what you feel in the body. So option here to move the upper body. So you you can maybe loosen up some of the muscles, some of the muscle tension. You can nod the head or shake no. From here, let's bring the hands to the shins, extend the spine through the crown, draw the shoulders back, pull the navel in. And on the next breath, let's inhale the arms all the way up, press through the feet, arms come back up. Palms touch and palms come to heart. So take notice here what you're feeling in the shoulders, what you're feeling in the upper body, what you're feeling in the lower body. Just noticing what is your body saying to you. Tone the legs by pulling up those quads. On the inhale, reach up, palms together. Press the hips forward, take those palms back. For a slight back bend. Palms together, nice deep breath in. On the exhale, forward fold, come all the way down. Inhale, hands on the shins, giving nice length to the spine. Exhale, plant the palms, let that right foot step back. And we're going to come to a low lunge. Uncurl the toes, or you keep the toes curled if you want to keep it stretched. So let's bring those hips back and take them forward into a lunge. So extending forward and then taking it back. And if this feels uncomfortable on the knee and you don't have a knee pad or any cushion, you're always welcome to bend or fold the mat over so you can have a little bit extra cushion, or you can always double mat. All right, so we're going to go into a half splits here. And for those of you, reminding you, get your blocks so you can lift your body, okay? Blocks really help a lot. So we're in half splits, okay? And we're going to take that left hip back, lift the body, extend through the crown. So that's where the blocks can come in handy to help lift the body a little bit more. Shift back. Inhale, shift forward, stack that knee over the ankle. Now you're going to take it a little bit further forward for a deep low lunge. So you're feeling that in the hip flexors. Take the shoulders back and then come to neutral. So stack that right knee, that left knee over the left ankle, so the front leg. All right, you're going to crawl the foot forward. Crawl the foot forward just as far as it likes to go. And then you're going to shift those hips back. Take the foot to the heel. So if it feels good to extend it further, you're taking just a little bit deeper stretch here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby.
Thanks, Anna. You're welcome. This is awesome.
You're very welcome.
Oh man.
Leave it in the comments.
I just did.
All right, so from here, let's lower that foot, crawl it back. We'll just step it back. And then we're going to curl the toes under that back foot and lift that back knee coming into a low lunge. Okay, so this is where it's going to come in, where it's going to get a little tricky with balance because we're going to come into a crescent lunge. So in order for us to gently lift up, one, you can use the blocks to lift the body first and then take the hands to the tops of the thigh. So one transition or this transition and then gently lift the body up. The heel of the back foot is lifted, which is different than in Warrior One. So this is where the balance comes in. Now you can leave your hands here or take them to the waist. You can bring your hands to prayer to stabilize your balance, or if you're ready, take those arms up and find the full extension of crescent lunge. Pull the navel in, gently drop the shoulders away from the ears. And you can take a little bounce here. Slow. Just to come to see where your balance is. So you're putting pressure in that front big toe, but you're still spreading the weight throughout the foot. From here, lower the hands, bracket that front foot, scoot that back foot forward a little bit, extend that front leg, take the forehead towards the knee. Strength through both legs. And if your forehead isn't touching the knee, that's okay. But if you want it to touch, which there's more benefit in making contact, so you can bend that knee and take the forehead to the knee. And this is one way that you can begin to touch your forehead to the knee, because I never used to be able to touch my forehead to knee. I never used to be able to do this. The way that I did it was bending the knee as much as I needed to make contact, and eventually pressing my forehead into the knee to extend the leg. So little by little, with years of practice, we've been able to get there. So it's okay if your head and knee are not touching, forehead to knee. All right, so from here, let's lean forward and step it forward. Take that forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, and then let's root to rise. Come all the way up, stretch up, find your chair. Shift the weight to the heels, ground the toes, pull the navel in, gazing forward. So remember, the body's going to follow the gaze. So if you take your gaze downward towards your feet, your body's going to want to do this. So you want to take your gaze forward, stay nice and upright, ground the toes, shift the weight to the heels, lift the heart. Let's bring the hands to the heart center, and then gentle forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins to lengthen, half lift, tilting the tail, shoulders draw away from the ears, and then take those hands back down, step it back. Find your plank or modified plank. Tuck the elbows close to the body, come all the way down to your tummies, hands underneath the shoulders. So if you're having low back pain, going into Cobra is a really good back strengthener. But if there's a lot of compression in the low back, so if it feels good to shake the hips back and forth, let them go, or bend the knees and windshield wiper just to release. But if you're feeling a lot of compression in the low back, take the feet a little further, the legs further apart, and take your Cobra that way. So on the inhale, you're going to press the 10 toes in and gently lift the heart. Slide it forward. Remember, it's not how deep or how high, it's what's comfortable for you to lift the body. And you might feel a little bit of discomfort. That's your body working. Gently lower down. Take a breath. Realign yourself, hands underneath the shoulders. Take the elbows close to the body. On the next breath, press all 10 toes into the mat. Lift the heart. Slide the heart forward. And then exercise the eyes. Chin parallel to the floor. Take the eyes to the sky. And gently lower. Close your eyes. Come all the way down. When you're ready, curl the toes under. Gently press back to child's pose. Walk those hands back. Extend the arms. Find your child. Walk it forward. Hands come back. Extended. Curl the toes under. Actually, find your table. Bring those knees forward and find your table. Realign. Curl the toes under. Lift into your down dog. Walk your dog if you'd like. And then inhale the heels high, bend the knees, switch the gaze. And then walk your feet to meet your hands, come to a forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. Exhale, deep forward fold. Hang out there for a few breaths. All right, on the next breath, lengthen for your half lift. And then plant the palms. Left foot's going to step back. Left knee's going to come down to the mat. Uncurl the toes and gently begin to shift forward and back. Take that right hip back. You can take the foot flat to the mat to give a nice top of the foot stretch. And then when you're ready, take it to the heel if you're not there already. Again, shifting that right hip back, pull the navel in, gaze forward. And then shift forward, take a deep lunge. Come back to neutral, stack that knee over the ankle, and crawl that foot forward. Take it to the heel, and find your stretch. A deeper half splits. Now, remember, you don't have to get into this position if it's not comfortable. If you want to stay in low lunge and that's more comfortable, stay there. Do what works for you, what feels good for you. So a few breaths here. Again, you can use the blocks to lift the body. And notice what a difference that makes, right? And you feel it all the way in here. So lower back down, crawl that foot back. All right, we're back into neutral position and low lunge. We're going to curl the toes under and extend. Let me do that first. Actually, no, we're going to come into crescent. So take the hands to the tops of the thighs and lift. When you're ready, and you can even scoot that back foot forward if that's more comfortable. Arms are going to come up to your crescent lunge. Remember, you can lower the hands to the hips, hands to the heart. Do what works for you and your body. So you can take a little dip here, just testing the balance, feeling the weight distribution in the front foot, navel pulled in. Nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, let's bracket that front foot. All right, so scoot that foot back, that back foot forward if you haven't already, and then we're going to extend that front leg and take the forehead towards the knee. Bring awareness to that right hip and draw it back. Now one side might feel tighter than the other. I know that my right side feels tighter. Again, you can bend the knee, take the forehead towards the knee, and press the forehead into the knee to make contact. And what's happening here is that you're creating a little throat lock, stimulating the throat chakra. So if it feels uncomfortable in the throat, it should, and that's why.
That's right.
Yeah. One more breath. Lift the gaze. And then let's step it forward. Come to your forward fold. Hands on the shins to lengthen for your half lift. And then let's root to rise. Come all the way up. Ooh, you feel it in that hip. And now we're going to sit in our chair. Take the weight to the heels. Lift the gaze. Pull the navel in. One more breath. You got this. And take the hands to heart. Find your forward fold. Let's take the hands to the shins to lengthen. And then gently take those hands back down. Come back down to your mat. Drop those knees down. And then we're going to walk the hands towards the knees. And take a nice deep breath in here. And exhale, lower. Take the hands forward. Take a wide-legged child's pose just for a moment to get into those hips. Giving them an opposite stretch. Last breath here, and then walk the hands back towards the knees. Bring the knees closer together. Shift the hips to one side and swing the legs around, scoot to the middle of the mat. Take the hands to the front of the knees and find yourself back on your back, knees to chest. A little rock side to side or circles with the knees, whatever feels good. Take the legs up to the sky and cycle and recycle. Keep it backwards. Float the legs
I love this
down.
theme, Anna. This is my favorite class of the year.
Find your way back down, full body stretch. Thank you. All right. Arms to a T. Bend the knees, windshield wiper. And let's just take the knees to the right side just for a little moment of a breath. Gently bring it to center and take it to the opposite side. And then bring it back to center. Any last moves you'd like to bring into your practice today, you can feel free to do. You can take another full body stretch, or you can reposition yourself and find yourself in your Shavasana. Option to butterfly the legs if you'd like, if that feels good to your body. Or you can even do a supported legs up to the sky with a block.
I have my geode.
Oh, I love it.
Crampy.
Oh.
Like.
Goodness, see what I get when Sandy's in my studio? So awesome. All right. Find your Shavasana and let your body feel heavy. So I'm popping back up, but be guided by my voice to bring yourself to a full rest. As you take that deep breath and slow exhale out to receive everything that you've benefited into this practice, into your body. Let the body feel heavy. Get yourself to feel like you're floating, fully supported, feeling safe, and feeling safe in your body. Taking up space. So you are very welcome to stay in Shavasana for as long as you like. But I will cue us out so that we can end our hour. So if you want to come back out, come back into your body, wiggling your toes and your fingers. Maybe taking your knees to chest or a full body stretch. With the knees bent, gently rolling to your right side. giving yourself a moment there as you cradle your head. And then coming back to seated, meeting me with our hands in Anjula Mudra, prayer position at the heart. To seal our wonderful session today, please join me in bringing our prayer hands to our third eye as a reminder to think kind thoughts, to our lips to speak kind words, and back down to our hearts as a reminder to live life fully with love, deep awareness, joy, inner strength, courage, and lots of grace. From my heart to yours, thank you so much for showing up for yourselves today.